Howdy everyone. This is Konstantin and welcome to yet another daily update on what is happening in Russia. I am streaming live from Tashkent, Uzbekistan, but in my heart and in my soul I am in Moscow, Russia, and telling you on what's happening in my country. Today is a bitter-sweet day, and I'd like to share a lot with you, and a lot of it, most of it is personal. There will be some information, but official information, but most of it mine, coming from my heart. Today is Eastern Orthodox Easter, and I would like to say Happy Easter to everyone. I know that most of you celebrate Easter a little earlier. Well, we celebrate Easter at different times all the time. Very rarely it's on the same day. Thank you, Bob and Lorna, for 5x5. Anyway, we celebrate Easter at different times, and guess what? I celebrate Easter twice, with you, with the West, and with Russia. And I also celebrate Christmas twice, and that's great. I suggest you do same and join me in celebrating Easter today, Orthodox Easter. Very good day in Tashkent. I had a good Sunday. I went to church, I prayed. I walked around Tashkent just to unwind a little bit. I did not stream. I filmed a video for patrons and for sponsors of YouTube channel. It's exclusively for the people who signed up for sponsorship and patronship. It's out there for the sponsors on YouTube, and I'm trying to figure out how to share it with the patrons. Okay, so hang in there. In a couple hours, hopefully you will have access to it, exclusive access. Thank you so much. And if you want to join the program, you're welcome to do that. Would be appreciated. I did some shopping, food shopping, usually at the bazaar, one of my favorite places here in Tashkent. Fantastic. Just, you know, well, in the video I kind of showed everything. And I did a lot of work. I actually had work piled up from over the week, and some YouTube as well. Answered emails, answered comments, kind of learned a few things about YouTube. So all in all, it was a good day. So that's sweet. That's goodness, okay? Also, there's some bitterness because today is 2 months anniversary of Russian special military operation that Russia is conducting in Ukraine. 2 months ago, on the 24th of February, Vladimir Putin addressed the nation, addressed me as a Russian citizen, addressed all the Russians, and basically said that he was forced to start a special military operation in Ukraine to denazify and to demilitarize the country. And ever since I've streamed every single day. I gave you updates in forms of videos, in forms of streams, in forms of answering comments, and things like that. And well, my stream today, as usual, is divided in 2 parts. First part is comment-free section part. I'm going to give you the information I want, and the second part I'm gonna turn on the comments, and please respect me, respect the mods, keep this stream clean. Do not, well, anyway, just listen to the moderators. They have the say specifics after or rather before I turn the comments on. Anyway, 2 months ago, the special operation, military operation started in Ukraine. To me, it was unthinkable. I was taken, I can't even say you by surprise. I was taken by shock because I had not expected anything like this. Moreover, I ridiculed people. I made fun of people who were saying that Russia was amassing troops with bad intentions. I'd been saying, I've said it many times on YouTube, you gotta be crazy to think that, okay? But people were saying, but look, we have intel from the other countries. And I was saying, what intel? What intel? If Russia does that, it'd be shooting itself in both feet. On the 24th of February, unthinkable happened. And Russian troops started rolling into Ukrainian territory. Russian bombers started bombing in Ukraine. Russian Ministry of Defense has been repeatedly saying that Russian military is only targeting would be the right word, targeting the military facilities in Ukraine with the goal to denazify and to demilitarize the country. Okay, and what has followed is really difficult to explain. What can I say? A special military operation, combat, losses from both sides. Some cities, Ukrainian cities, greatly affected. Losses in the Russian army. The official number of soldiers that died, killed in action or missing in action, over 1,300. Okay, that Russian Ministry of Defense, I think, released the information about 4 weeks ago, something like that. I did not hear anything else after that they said about people missing in action. Official information. Then, not other official information, flagship of Russian Black Sea Fleet, combat vessel Moskva sunk. There was a fire that resulted into detonation of arms and the ship sank. At first, Russian Ministry of Defense said that the entire crew was evacuated. Later, just yesterday or a couple days ago, it said, different information said that one person died while the fire was taking place, or detonation anyway. And there were so many people, a few dozen missing in action. Missing at sea. Okay, so go figure. I'm just giving you the highlights. Russian troops in the beginning, they rolled over to Kharkov and to Kiev. They tried to encircle Kiev, or actually, I don't know what they tried to do. They were placed somewhat around Kiev. There were attempts to move into Kiev. There was heavy fighting. There was heavy fighting in Mariupol. It's been heavy fighting. And Russians took over a few villages, quite a few villages, in the city of Melitopol, and I think city of Kherson. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's what happened. That's all information from official sources of Russian Ministry of Defense. Then again, later, about 1 month ago, something changed, and Russian troops rolled back near border of Russia from the northeastern part of Ukraine, where Kiev, around Kiev, and Kiev towns close to Kiev. So basically, the Russian troops moved back, withdrew, and Russian general announced that Russia was decreasing military activity around Kiev in that direction. That's been a heavy, there was a heavy battle for city of Mariupol. And just a few days ago, Vladimir Putin all of a sudden met Russian Minister of Defense Sergei Shoigu, and gave an order to pull back, to stop the fighting for Mariupol. And he said, basically, there's been a word saying Russia has stopped, well, has successfully finished stage 1, and now to stage 2. And from what I understand, from what I heard from different official sources, the stage 2 is complete liberation of Donetsk and Lugansk republics. That's the official from the government. Very dry information. In general, we have been given very little specific information and a lot of information of general kind, saying we are there to protect people, we provide humanitarian corridors that Ukrainian people can flee, I think, to Russia or for further into Ukraine, things like that. So general information, a lot. Very specifics, how many Russians killed in action, how many Ukrainians killed in action, how many Nazis caught, killed, put to trial, perhaps, denazified, how they got denazified, what kind of militarization took place in Ukraine. That's very, very, very little of that information has been given. That's about that part, Ukraine. I have been hearing lots of rumors, well, not rumors, lots of information, should I say, from the other side, from the Western side. Western media has not been blocked in Russia. I still can watch CNN, Fox News, CNBC, BBC, things like that. And those news sources are given quite a different outlook and different information, but I don't want to mention anything here because I don't want to contradict anything that Russian official government sources say. Otherwise, I could be facing big troubles, up to 15 years in prison. So there are two sides of the story, but I've given you the official side of Russian government, okay? The other side, you probably know well. It's up to you to decide, to form your own opinion. That's I'm not the judge, and I'm not here to make your own your opinion. You decide for yourself. Now, that what has been happening outside of Russia. Inside of Russia, and this is my main message for today, probably, because the results I'm seeing, I'm not talking Ukraine. There's just not, it's not, there's nothing I can say. If you saw in my heart, inside of my heart, what is happening there, you would not need any words, okay? And I don't really know how to explain myself in a good way, okay? Ukrainian people, I know quite a few. My mom was half Ukrainian, okay? Her maiden name is Ukrainian. I spent about 1 year in Ukraine. I know tons of Ukraine. I have tons of Ukrainian friends in Odessa and Kyiv and Kharkov. My best friends is from Donetsk. Donetsk, and his parents have stayed in Donetsk throughout the years. So I have friends everywhere, and then we never divided ourselves onto Russians, Ukrainians, people from Donetsk. We're just friends, And I talk to them regularly. I understand what's happening to them. Some of them are in Europe as refugees. Russia has also been changing very rapidly, okay? 2 months, I just made a video, and I am calling it The Brief History of Russia Through My Eyes, 1991, 2022. And I think that Russia that I knew, the country that I knew, ended in 2022 on 24th of February. And the new country was born. And it's been evolving right in front of our eyes, okay, my eyes. The changes that are taking place are very significant, and they run on surface, but they also run very, very deep inside of every single Russian. You know, I've seen quite a few bloggers recently, English-speaking Russian bloggers, who start speaking up. That's great. At first, I was the only one for about 2 or 3 weeks. Nikki Proshin joined me. And then within recent 3 weeks, other bloggers also started joining and speaking. Some left Russia, some remain in Russia, but at least we get more opinions from inside Russia, right? So I've heard a very popular opinion, and not just the bloggers, but like regular people. Oh, my life hasn't changed much except for the prices. No, like I said, I'm not a judge. I'm not making any opinions about other people's opinions. I'm not judging them or anything like that. I can merely speak about myself. That's it. What I'm about to say is my personal opinion, and you know, I could be wrong, but this is how I think and this is how I feel. You see, the changes that have taken place in Russia, they can be divided into two large groups, major groups, only groups, I would say. One is life itself, comforts, conveniences, incomes, prices, you know, what you can see and you can touch with your hands. And the second part is what's deep inside of every single one of us. Because I have yet to see one Russian person who hasn't been affected, okay? All of us affected in different ways. I've yet to see one person who's been affected in a positive way, okay? It's different and it's usually very, very hurtful, okay? Now, in terms of like things that you can touch with your hands, you can see with your eyes, you can smell, taste. Many bloggers, many people are absolutely right. The prices of everything have gone up tremendously. But the prices is just, how do I say that? The prices are the indicator of what's happening to the deep levels of economy. The thing is, the biggest thing, Russia has been cancelled, pushed out from the world and isolated. Basically, there's a fence that has been placed around Russia, and two fences. First fence is on the outside. It was created by the Western companies, Western countries, mostly like all countries in the world, because a couple months ago there was a vote in the United Nations, you know, against this military operation, and 130 plus countries abstained. So you see that what's going on there. So most countries, they have let's put it this mildly, have been disagreeing, okay, what is happening in Ukraine. And the sanctions followed. Economic sanctions followed immediately, and then cultural sanctions followed, educational, and all kinds of sanctions. Right now, Russia is #1 sanctioned country in the world, and I think in the history of the world. Soviet Union, forget it. Soviet Union is a child's play compared to what has been happening to Russia in the past 2 months. But economic sanctions, they're, you know, that they create for all this financial and economic troubles inside Russia for us regular Russians. They're just also the result of this stand between the Western countries, and pretty much like everyone else joined the Western countries, and Russia. Most countries are saying, hey, we think that what's going on in Ukraine is unacceptable, okay? And Russia saying, well, we're gonna do what we're gonna do. Pretty much it. Everything else comes from this stand. And the stand is nothing but isolation of Russia. And all these things that followed, like Russian reserve fund, was it called gold currency reserves, have been frozen, at least half of it. There are different estimations from 300 billion to 500 billion dollars frozen overseas, and Russia cannot use it. Then most Western companies have left. They will be leaving Russia fairly soon. Large, small companies, you name it. And that has created a very difficult situation inside Russia. Some call it chaos, some call it, challenges. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad because Russia all of a sudden does not have access to new planes, new automobiles, new spare parts, electronic chips, electronic semiconductor products, financial products, bank loans from the outside of Russia. Most Russian banks have, well, quite a few Russian banks have been placed upon under sanctions, and they can only operate business with outside Russia. So many companies, Western companies, leaving. It means that people who were employed at those companies, they are getting unemployed. They're getting laid off, and there are so many unemployed people already, and there will be in the future more and more. There will be more financial troubles. There will be more shortages of everything, beginning from automobile parts to toilet paper, because even the biggest producer of toilet paper in Russia, Ziva, I think it's Scandinavian company, leaving. So you name it. There's been quite a few people there that are saying, oh, we will be able to get the imports. We just have to redirect them through different countries, through China, through Kazakhstan, through Uzbekistan and other countries, But in my opinion, it's not that easy thing to do, because not only companies have left Russia, I think that their products using other ways, other countries, and there will be sanctions against those individuals or companies. But time will tell, we'll see. Europe is trying to decrease usage of Russian gas and oil. This is bad news for Russian economy. Well, we have bad news short term and long term. Short term is like, I don't even know what to say. Everything. Our banks don't work. Our prices in the stores are through the roof. What can I say? Like, people losing jobs left and right. Salaries our markets are getting destroyed. We cannot do not have access to basic online services that are located outside of Russia. Things are pretty bad. So, but that's not the worst thing. Far from the worst, okay? The worst thing, I think, is the changes, profound changes that have been taking place inside of Russian society and inside of Russian people. Russian society has been split in two parts, into two camps. First is people who genuinely support conducting, special military operation. The second group of people is people who oppose. The first group is, I'd say, pro, and the second is contra. The first pro is Dmitry Peskov, about over a month ago, came out and publicly gave an estimation that, in his words, the first group is 75%, 3/4, and the second group is perhaps 25%. And you know what? For once, I agree. I think that's about right estimation. That's what I've been seeing around me, because I have eyes, I can hear, I can see, I have ears, I can hear, and I agree. I agree. Two large groups, well, one larger group is pro, another is contra. I've thought a lot about how this division happened and what actually motivates, drives people to be in one group or another group. And I'm not going to share my thoughts here. It's just, it happened. There's nothing to be done about this right now. It's happened, okay? And whether it's okay, usually, in a normal society, in a peaceful time, it's okay to have opinions that, don't agree with opinions of other people. And it should be tolerated. That's the way it should be. In the United States, when I came first to the USA, when I was 20 years old, fresh off the boat, the first thing they taught me, hey, you have your own opinion. I don't like it. I disagree with it, but I'm gonna die defending your right to have your own opinion. Okay, I love that. And all of a sudden, I'm seeing that things are a little different here. Cancel culture, what I call this cancel culture, has been introduced and it's been growing. There's basically a chasm between these two groups, and this chasm is growing. And people becoming less tolerant to other people's opinions, and everyone's nerves are like strings. Everyone is getting more and more stressed. Everyone really going through hard times. Even the people who support this operation, they don't support like the deaths of innocent bystanders, civilians. It's tough. It's tough. I mean, a lot of them are God-loving people. They have families, they're fathers and mothers, they have children, and they're like nice people overall, okay? And if somebody would come up and say, hey, peaceful people who have nothing to do with anything, they just die, then that would be personal tragedy for these people, okay? Well, somehow probably they don't think about this, or they have different information. Perhaps they are much better informed than I am, okay? I could be wrong, like I've always said, but we have what we have. So the result of this too, the biggest result, let alone Ukraine, that's a completely different topic. It's dark, it's in the heart, I don't know, it's devastating. It's just so painful to think about what's going on there. Let alone Ukraine. The biggest result of this operation is inside of me. I have been rethinking my life, re-evaluating, let's put it this way. All the decisions that I made over the past 10 years, 15 years, going back, I've been reevaluating. I've been thinking, I'm trying to really think hard on what's going to happen with the country in the future, in the following months, what's going to happen with me personally, with my family, how I'm going to live further, what I'm going to be doing. My company is still afloat, but it's not doing well. Like I said many times, industry is imploding. We're hanging by the thread like everyone else, not just us. We're actually doing not bad compared to the other companies. But even us, we had to cut down pays of most workers, most employees by 40%, and they work 3 days instead of 5, things like that. So I've been thinking about that lately a lot. I've been thinking about my kids, what's going to happen to them, how they're going to grow up, what they're going to be learning, what are they going to be thinking about, how they're going to talk to us in a few years, in 10 years, in 20 years, asking us what was happening in 2022 in Russia, things like that. And everything else can be fixed, except for 2 things. First is lives lost. You cannot bring people back from death, okay? No matter what you do. Many lives have been lost. Russian soldiers, Ukrainian civilians, and Ukrainian soldiers. You just cannot fix that. The second thing you cannot fix is profound changes in our hearts. Wounds that turn into scars, and scars stay there forever, for the rest of our lives, basically. These 2 months have made so many scars in many people that I think these scars are gonna stay. We will not forget what has happened from February to April of 2022, and perhaps will be happening further. I don't really see any good news on the horizon. Negotiations that they conducted 5 or 6 meetings, and both sides were giving us good news, like clickbaits. There will be peace soon. There will be peace soon, and then they started blaming each other for, busting the agreements and things like that. I don't really know who to trust in this situation. It takes definitely more than one to tango when it comes to politics and negotiations. And so this 2 months, perhaps even much longer time, has scarred us enough to, I don't even know what to say, like to leave us disabled. I'm not disabled, okay? I'm far from, I can think, I can feel, but you know what? Definitely, I feel the way I feel world around me is different now than it was mere 2 months ago, okay? And that's, for us, for Russians, is the biggest result, I should say, over the 2 months, okay? For Ukrainians, my friends, I don't know what to say. Please forgive us, all those who have been affected, all those who have had to run away from the combat zones, who are in Europe right now as refugees, who are in Western Ukraine. Please forgive us. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else. I don't know what's going to happen to Ukraine. I hope and pray, that we pray together for peace every single day. I want bloodshed to be stopped as soon as possible. I want no more people to die on either side, I want it stopped. I want life go back to normal as much as it's possible, and there are different scenarios, and I'm not an expert. I don't possess the right information to tell you, to make an opinion on which scenario is the most likely. I simply don't know. And you know what? I doubt that anyone these days know what's gonna happen in the future. If they're telling you, they most likely lying. The biggest thing is how fast a country can change from one state to another. Mere 2 months. I wish that none of you who's watching the stream right now, I wish none of you would have to go through a transformation of your country. Because you know what, this is a tragedy of cosmic scale. And again, economics, all this infrastructure, everything can be fixed, but the pain inside, the scars, the bleeding, well, bleeding stops over time and becomes dull pain, and it's scarred, That's just not gonna go away. Some people call it depression, post-traumatic syndrome. I don't really know how to call it, and I don't care, to be honest with you, but I feel it inside of me. Again, I cannot say it for other people. Some say, oh, lives haven't been affected other than prices increasing. I think they're not telling you the whole truth, but I don't know. I can only speak to myself. And I myself, what's the right word? A changed man? No. Broken? Far from broken. I'm not broken, but I'm just different, and not in a good way. That's been my message. A little longer today, 10 minutes longer. I usually try to fit into 30 minutes mods. If we could run the stream for 10 more minutes longer, I would really appreciate it. Now, I'm gonna turn on the chats, the comments, and please keep this chat clean. Respect our rules, respect mods. Do not try to inform me of what's going on outside of Russia. Please don't. I have other ways of learning the information, not this live stream. And that's it. Let's do it. Well, if everything goes according to the plan, we're gonna hit the internet turbulence time in about 10 minutes. The mods, please do the sirens, wow, 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 right away. About 15 minutes into every stream, we run into buffering. It's a miracle. I don't know. It's a miracle. I don't know what happens exactly at the same time, day after day after day. I see chats on, and I see usually Lorna is the first one. Yarn Prepper, Lorna. Yarn Prepper, bet everyone. Dirk, good to see you. Lorna, Robert, Exploring with Azunas. Remakers, Suzanne Gitz, Bob S, Joy, Teresa D, Julia, 99 K, hello, Marilyn, the usual suspects. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for commenting. Much appreciated. I just really like to see your comments. By the way, quite a few people commented in a negative way. A couple days ago on Friday, I went out and I was alone. I was waiting for friends and I felt so lonely. Although I was surrounded by love, by comfort, by care, by all these good people around me, friends here, and my families. I speak to them like a few times a day. Tons of people. I felt very lonely. Yesterday I felt better. Today it's just an emotional roller coaster. I'm emotionally a very stable guy, and what's been happening with me is really strange, really, really strange. I don't know what to tell you. I go up and down. Probably should keep more to myself because you know, I say too much here about how I personally feel, and then it seems like I'm like complaining or whining. No, I'm just merely trying to explain how I feel, and I think it's just not me. It's I think many people in Russia feel that way. Emotional roller coaster, and you know, it's definitely more bad emotions than good ones. You know, it goes like this: down, 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 up a little bit, then down, down, down again. Things like that. Couple super chats. First one was from Reese Gray. Hello from Canada, Mr. Popular. I'm getting used to you calling me Mr. Popular because every time, I would read this message and then that was always, like, wow, I'm not Mr. Popular, but getting used to the message. Thank you. It will take a long time for most of this to be undone. As you said, some of it is permanent. Yep. Take solace in the fact that you're a public figure praying for it to stop. Take solace. Now, there are two parts of me, okay? There is something in my head and there's something in my heart. And you know what? I can take solace. I can think whatever I want. I can comfort myself. I can find 1,000 excuses for my head. But you know what? There's nothing can be done for my heart, okay? It's just, it has a life of its own and it just feels the way it feels. And that's it. At least that's how it works with me. I don't know, perhaps other people differently. Exploring with Azunas, you guys are great. Thank you so much. You've been with me when this channel had like live streams with 30 people, Thank you so much. It's always good to see you. Thanks for the support. Marilyn, happy Easter. He has risen. Yes, that's what I should have started. Happy Easter, everyone. It's Eastern Orthodox Easter, but Easter anyway. Marilyn, thank you. Christos Voskres to everyone. And that's what we say in Russia, Christos Voskres. And then a person replies back with Voistinu Voskres. So everyone, Christos Voskres. There's been a new sponsor, just some guy in North Carolina. Thank you so much. Welcome to Inside Russia. Dai Talon. Konstantin, hope you're well. I've noticed more bots on certain social network. Talon, I'll check it out. I'm not a big user of that network, but I more just post pictures there and that's it. Thanks for the heads up. Marilyn has a message. If you want me to notice message, put it in caps, and even better, I will definitely notice the message if you put @ and then my channel's name, just like Marilyn did, because that way it just jumps into my eyes, Marilyn says, you are popular with your friends and you should be able to express how you feel to your friends. You've never personally met, but really care about you as a person. Thank you so much, Marilyn. if you didn't know, if you're new here, Marilyn did a great job of helping Maria Z. That's one of our fellow subscribers and fellow members of this community. Maria Z was stuck in Kiev with her mom, 81-year-old mom, and her son Valentin, and they literally lived through the hardest conflict, of the first days in Kiev, and we prayed for them every night. And Marilyn actually found a person who was coordinating the relief efforts, trying to get people, like peaceful people, out of the combat zone and things like that. And then I'm not sure with his help or not his help, but Maria was managed to get out along with her mom and her son. So Marilyn, thank you. You really are a godsend and you're a miracle. Bob S. I'm so used to you being a mod that I don't read messages from you as from like a person, but just a mod, you know what I mean? Thank you so much. Happy Easter to you too. Pennsylvania. I see a message from Wrath, Florida, right? Keep up the great work. When can you visit the USA? My friend, I don't know. Ever? Never? I don't know. I would love to. Gosh, I would just fly for a weekend to see my kids, just to. Narnian Lady, we had a fantastic chat. I did actually a live stream for subscribers only, and I'm gonna do that, not subscribers, but for sponsors only. I'm gonna do that I will try every week, perhaps every other weeks. And that chat was so different. There were only 4 people, and they were asking me different kinds of personal questions, and Narnian Lady was there too. It's good that you are expressing yourself. That's emotionally healthy. Narnian Lady, you know what? I am not expressing myself. What you have heard today is not expressing. It's just mere, I don't even know how to say that, little tiny spring. I have a huge river flowing inside and I cannot express it. If I was expressing it, trust me, there would be a different live stream, okay? But not expressing. And Julie Panfilio, $10. If only Russians. Thank you, thank you. Pyotr Novak, you're from Czech Republic, right? Awesome. Money to test all kinds of samsa in Uzbekistan. Greetings from Prague. I don't know if, well, your name is not new, right? So I've told many times that my parents lived in Prague for 10 years. I visited Prague myself. Praha 5. Fantastic place. I like your city very much. Very good culture, very good people, very, very, how do I say? I don't even know. It's awesome overall. Really like Prague and its people. Unfortunately, we've enjoyed quite a bad history of relationships, and trust me, not only you remember 1968. I do too. And my dad, he was conscripted in 1968. In 1969, he was placed in a Russian Air Force base in Slovakia, in Banska Bystrica, and he spent about a year there. And that really he had to live with that guilt for the rest of his life. Okay, it's one of the reasons he actually moved to Prague in 2000 to give this debt, to pay his debt that he owed to people of former Czechoslovakia, you know. And actually, he did a pretty good job. You know, I'm really proud of my dad. Moy NYP, thank you so much for 10 QAR. Appreciate it. Thank you. Annette, hello from Maryland. I've been watching you for 6 weeks now. Well, thank you so much. Thank you. Very much appreciated. It's people like you, they give me strength. They keep and watch. Let alone super chats. Super chats are great. Thank you so much. But you know what I always look for? How many people watching? And when I see a large number, trust me, it gives me wings behind my back and I'm ready to fly. Have you noticed, by the way, how over these weeks I've started, I turned out to be drinking tea so much more quiet? Because quite a few people noticed saying, hey, turn the mic on when you drink tea and things like that. Annoying. So I try to keep the sound very, very low and down. Corey, you gave me about a shout out on your fellow Russian channels and gives earlier today. How's the tea? LOL, happy Easter, buddy from Toronto, Canada. Tea is really good. I don't know if you can see that. Okay. Tea is, I mix tea myself. It means I buy different teas. I'm like tea barista now. I buy different teas, I try them, and I mix and match. And it's not bad, not bad. Yeah, it was fun talking to you at Zangiv's stream today. Zangiv is becoming more active on internet. That's good. It's good. Glad to see that guy back. Kathy D, special thank you to the moderators for keeping Constantine safe. Me too. I joined your special thank you. Steve G, thank you for $10. Much appreciated. Winston Segner, $5. How's it going? Winston, well, with your $5, it's going better. That's all I gotta say. A little better. Thank you. Generally, it's not going good. But you know what? I'm not complaining because people in the neighboring country, they have all the right to complain, not me. It's going much better than there. But in general, I cannot take songs, words out of a song, if you know what I mean. And inside, right there, it's not going well. It's not going well. Want to try that Tashkent samsa, says Joe Ben. Look, someone was telling me in the comments today, hey, have more samsa. The more samsa and the more pilaf I have here in Uzbekistan, the wider my face grows. And my goal is, on the contrary, to make my face narrow. So I try to limit samsa very, very, very much. And I try to have pilaf couple times a week. My friends come into Tashkent and colleagues and my boss come into Tashkent tomorrow. I'm meeting everyone and will be my birthday on the 28th. We have an event happening here in Uzbekistan, so there'll be plenty of meetings. And you know where Uzbek people take you for meetings? That's right, to eat pilaf. So I'm gonna take it easy on that, okay? Mason Girl 123, have your kids experienced any negative feedback in the US? I'd rather not answer your question. This is so painful. I'm not gonna say anything, okay? my relationship with kids, like my personal relationship, has not been affected. They, thank goodness, they do not like feel any different to me. But other everything else, I'm not even gonna go in here. Ian Jones, is there vodka in that tea? I wish. It would have been easier. I don't like vodka, I don't like alcohol in general because I don't feel well the next day if I drink. And, I can drink. And I, like here, meeting with friends, we drank a few times. But just, I feel like crap after the next day and then evening. And especially if I drink like, like I don't know, over 200 grams. What is this in ounces? Like 6, 7 ounces and more. My mouth is dry. It's not worth drinking to me, So that's why there's no vodka. But you know what? If there was vodka here, that would numb down my feelings. Okay, so the vodka really helps. Lori Miles. Oh, that's not to me. Sorry. Pavel, when I see you stream, I start to understand how much freedom of speech is precious. I hope you will restore yours. Slovakia, Liptov. Pavel, you are absolutely right. And you know what? Even I, here in Russia, 2 months later, I understand much more how precious freedom of speech is. I was born and raised in the USSR. It's not the freest country, it wasn't the freest country in the world, and we didn't have good laws for freedom of speech. But the thing is, it was such a long time ago, I forgot. I forgot how it was to not have freedom of speech. Because after Soviet Union, almost immediately I moved to the United States. It was a completely different story. Then believe it or not, Russia was great. For 15 years, Russia was great. Great, then good, then not bad, then bearable. New sponsor. A message from sponsor, Stephen Simon. Happy Easter to Konstantin and everyone out there. Thank you so much, Stephen. Much appreciated. Brandy Ford, I love that teapot. There's a story behind it. You see, Brandy, when I came to this apartment, it's very Spartan. It's not even minimalist. It's Spartan, okay? And I decided to give it a few, how do I call it, like finishings, at least nice, very nice finishings. And I bought this teapot. I went out, it's really expensive. It's like $40. But heck with it, So, and I've been enjoying this teapot every single day. It kind of makes my life not that miserable here, Every time I look at it, I like it too. I enjoy, not enjoy, I appreciate it. No buffering after 53 minutes. Woohoo! That's right. Easter, that's why. The forces of evil have been kept away. And by the way, I prayed at the church. Okay, I'm not crazy, okay? But I prayed for no buffering at the streams. Yarn Prepper, your teapot needs a home in my collection. Let me tell you, I would have sent it to you, but it's very fragile. It's gonna be broken in mail. Happy Easter, Constantine says. Suzanne, how are you? Happy Easter. Happy Easter to you too. Journey to Justice. Windy, Wisconsin. Dan Hudson, funny how you getting love from every country. It's too bad I have like 8 minutes because just a lot of good questions today, and each question I can speak on for quite a bit. You see, I feel very lucky and very blessed because even in this incredibly trying time, really hard. I mean, I don't even know how to explain it. My entire country is just falling apart in front of me like a cart house, okay? My life is being reformatted. My life of all people around me being reformatted, and we don't really know where it's going to lead us to, okay? But at these trying times, I get so much help and support from all the corners, my friends, my family, my colleagues, people who I haven't heard for a long time. They reach out and they try to support and help me, offering things, you know. This community has been awesome. Without you guys, I would be so depressed because you give me so much of so many good emotions, so much of like good energy. I feel like my heart is dying, okay? But I also feel at the same time that the God is holding me in his hands. And this is pretty incredible feeling. Yet, with all this support, with all this help, with all these good things happening, miracles happening in my life, it's pretty freaking tough, hard, painful. So thank you. Thank you so much for them for observation. It's the right one. Carla, happy Easter. Have you seen the YouTube channel Speak the Truth? My recommendation is to slow the playback speed down with the settings, and he's a fast speaker. I'll make a note of that. Okay. Hey, there's a 100 euro super chat from Jan Wojton. Happy Easter from a lot of Lord's blessings to you and your family. Thank you so much. Sending prayers from Slovakia. Христос воскресе. Воистину воскресе, my friend. Thank you so much. Thank you, Jan. The words are priceless, and 100 euro, what can I say? That's very much appreciated. Very much. Thank you. Reese Gray, the serial super chatter. Congratulations on successfully praying away the buffer devil. The angels came with additional bandwidth to cast. Look, you may laugh whatever you want, but I did pray. I spent like half an hour in church. I actually prayed, kind of repeated, like I prayed a lot. I repeated what I usually pray for in the live streams, and then I mentioned a few people from the list. You know, that was pretty good. I went to church. I filmed a little bit. Could not film in the church, but for the sponsors, I uploaded a video. That's extra content. That's my way of saying thank you to the sponsors, giving them something extra. You know, something like a little more personal. Zdenek Pavlatka, serial super chatter. Happy Easter. Oh, there you go. Today's members only video was great. The market is a great place. I would find it hard not to spend too much money there. I'm glad you liked it. There were quite a few good comments. Was an experiment because I don't know what you guys and girls want to see as a, like, they call it bonus content. Okay, I hate this word, bonus content. I don't know, something extra special for you. Just, if you listen and the sponsors of the channel, please comment under that video that I made today and uploaded, and Just let me know what you want me to do in the future for you, and I'd be glad to do that. DM, I missed any tea sipping sounds. Can I get a slug for? Oh, that's funny. Try to stay upbeat even at hard it is. Understand completely. Love and prayers from Iowa. Look, so cool. I'll give you a little personal details on that. Natasha, my wife, we get along great. Okay, we never fight. We never even never argue. All right. I tried at first, but then I figured that she's always right. She comes out right. I'm serious. I'm not just saying that, but and a few things she doesn't like about how I behave, and I think the biggest thing is the way I drink tea, like a slurp, like that. She always gives me a hard time. Then she was watching one of the streams, someone complained, and then she called me after the stream, and she said, you've got to stop doing that." So I'm watching myself. I'm sorry. I'm trying to stay upbeat, but you know what? It's becoming more difficult and more difficult. I want one thing. I want the bloodshed stop. Other things, I don't care about sanctions. I don't care about economic difficulties, things like that. That's all secondary. The primary is the bloodshed is going to change. I watched the news, Russian official news. Odessa was hit yesterday. I spent 1 year in Odessa. I know the city well. I know people. It just breaks my heart, really. I was talking to one of my best friends, Odessa residents. He just called me up. I mean, he was born and grew up and raised in Odessa. He hasn't lived there for a long time, but he called me up and he was almost in tears. How is this possible, So it's becoming more and more difficult. It's just like someone just putting more and more weight on my shoulders, and not just me. I'm not talking about myself. Most likely, it's most of us, all of us in Russia. With every rocket fired, it's more and more weight. PL, do you like Uzbek manti? Yeah, I like very much. It's great. It's it's a great dish. Lori Miles, flood your system with water. How about this? I'm flooding it with tea silently. James Pledger, have you been able to receive any of your super chat donations for March yet? There's good news and bad news. The good news is the Google sent, and I changed bank because the previous bank, my old bank, does not accept any payments. Well, no one can send any payments because it's under sanctions. So I changed bank, and they are withholding money. They're frozen, and they called me up and they asked me to explain where the money is coming from, for what purposes, like what kind of service I provided, and I explained everything, but they have not. Basically, my money is frozen in the bank. I think they will unfreeze them, but I cannot use them. Okay, that's the latest. How long it's gonna take for them to process? I don't know, some kind of currency control or something like that. I don't know. We will see. So some good news and bad news. At the rate you're going, you will soon be a tea leaf. No way, Savage Wolf. I still gotta go for I gotta shed 30 to 40 pounds. Trust me, it's a long way. I just started. But the thing is, There's a huge change inside of me because I had an eye surgery and I am cleared to do sports now. I have not been able to do any sports for quite a few years and now I'm good to go. So you watch me. One Aikinor. Don't let the negatives nearly get you down. Look, I'm not really letting any negative people or comments to get me down. The life is so negative. The events that are coming are so negative. You know, everything is so negative. That's what's getting me down, not the comments. I don't really care much about the comments because I think that people who even give bad comments, they're sincere. Okay, they're sincerely feeling bad for other country, and then they don't know how to express themselves. Okay, and they just write something nasty, saying that it makes them feel better, it makes situation better. That, you know, no hard feelings on my side. You know. Prayer takes a while. Time's up. Okie dokie. Okay, nothing else, right? Lorna, slurping is only loud because of your microphone location. I just don't know where else to place the microphone. If I place it some other place, my words will not be picked up. Let's do this. Okay, I have a solution. There's a magic button like this. There you go. Okay, prayer time. You kidding me? Sebago Lake, Casco. Wow! I've been to Casco. I went to Sebago Lake just half minute. I went to Sebago Lake every single September after the season at Old Orchard Beach was over. I would take a little vacation, 3-4 days, and I would just take my family to Sebago Lake, rent a house there, and just chill for literally 3 days, a weekend. Wait, how could you do that? I shut off the microphone. Lauren, are you teasing me? Magic button, not so magic. Oh, you felt it. What? Okay, super slow. Okay. You heard the click, it didn't mute. That's very strange. Okay. It's been a good stream, Let's finish it with a good prayer. Today is a special prayer. Is there a buffer now? No? What can I do? Darn! Is buffering gone? Almost made it. Please keep the buffering away. Okay. My friends, please join me in prayer. Every single stream, I invite everyone, people who call themselves believers, who have faith in their hearts, who believe in God, who pray, and then people who call themselves, or other people call them non-believers, okay, to me, it doesn't matter. To me, if you have a heart and it's beating, you have love inside of your heart, and it has that love is God, and that's it. It's all we need to know. If you have hearts, please welcome join our group. Welcome. You know, if you don't want to pray with us, just send good wishes along with us to people, to events, and you know, just support us. Please join us, everyone. Dear God, please, thank you very much for giving us such a good Easter day. Thank you for providing us with plenty of food, giving food on our tables, roofs over our heads. The most important thing is surrounding us with great people, family, friends, colleagues, just good people in general, giving us love and showing us your love. I am asking you to stop the bloodshed in Ukraine. I'm asking you so no more people died, get killed, no more blood is drawn, no more pain is created. Please help everyone. Help people. Help Ukrainian soldiers, help Russian soldiers, help everyone. Just have it stop. Please open minds of people who are responsible for making decisions on all sides and put sense into their heads. Please open the hearts of all people who make decisions on both sides, on all sides, and fill their hearts with love, mercy, compassion, remorse. Please open their eyes so they can see what's been done, and they will get terrified and they will make decision to stop this bloodshed. Please help all the people who have been affected. And there are so many other nations, you know, nationals. Just help everyone who's been affected. Send angels to keep everyone out of harm's way. Angels need to do a lot of work nowadays because so much pain has been created. Please help us to raise our children so when they're adults, when they're grown-ups, they will have a better world. They will change with this world for the better. They will never fight one another, each other, but they will live in peace and be good friends and neighbors. Please help my country. Send angels with sharp swords to get rid of demons that have hijacked my country, and have angels run it and make Russia shine. To all neighbors and members of international community, please do so. I would like to ask you for all people who do not have food and do not have shelter. Please provide, give them food and give them warmth of homes and roofs over their heads. People who are sick, please give them healing. You know, I want to pray for Vladimir Putin. He's one of the major figures in this conflict, and I want you to reach out your hand and touch his head and his heart and fill it with love, passion, remorse. I want you to speak to him so he hears you, you know. I want you to answer his questions. I'm sure he has questions, you know. And I want you to reach out and touch him the way that he will make a decision, the right decision, and the bloodshed stops. I want you to help people who are praying in this stream right now along with me, and please answer their prayers and grant their wishes. People who believe in you and who think they don't believe in you alike, thank you very much for believing in them, believing in all of us. I am asking you to give everyone, well, thanking you for giving us all good Easter. Thank you so much. Thank you, Father. And I have a few people who wanted me to mention them at the end of the prayer. And I want you to reach out them and touch them in a good way so their prayers are answered and the wishes granted. They are Shay, Rafaela Fromm and her daughter Anna, William Schaffner, Elena, Natasha, Jake, Michael, Oля, Dasha, Sky, and Bonnie, Rebecca Witzman, Melissa Defoe Asabawanki, Bas Simon, and Mary B, Jean-Paul. This kid really needs your help. Just reach out and give him healing. His family needs you and needs him. Paula McDonald, Jane Hancock, Michael Milkevich, mom, and she's in the hospital. Marlene, Mikhail's family, Dimitrius and Kieran. Maddie and Sharon, Narnian lady. Teresa's D grandson, Brantley, 3 years old, needs your help with broken arm. Susan S. also needs your help with 2 broken ribs. Sabrina Fell, Firefly Farm's son, he needs your help. And again, everyone in this stream, thank you very, very much. Thank you, dear God. Amen. Thank you, mods, for a great stream. Without you, it'd be really, really difficult, probably impossible to do what I do. I don't know. I think it's been a good stream. Thank you again. Sunday, it's actually 2 in the morning, almost 3 a.m. here in Uzbekistan. And it's Monday already. And I'm gonna have a really busy week up ahead. But streaming every night, every 1 a.m. Schedule as usual. I keep on showing up, and you please keep on showing up as well. Thank you so much. You're awesome and you rock. Please keep on coming back for more.